All right, what's going on, people? This is the watch this video for Monday, April 6th. The last 3 days of the SPY here, you can tell it's just been kind of a sideways chop fest. I'm going to slide my last screenshot of my equity curve, which I took right at the closing bell on Friday. Green dot means new highs for the year, so I went out at highs for the year in my account. But you can kind of see I had a nice little run here. This is my post-vacation blunder that took me a while to recover from. Got my process back right about here and started saying, you know what, you got to quit gambling and focus on process, and that's what gives me my green dot, excuse me. But if you look at the last several trades, each little ticket, and this is a trade, by the way, not a day. You look at my last several trades, it's been almost sideways, right? And that literally is from these past few days. There have not been a lot of great opportunities. Still, I'm very pleased to be at highs for the year, but it's been a grind the last few days. I suspect we'll find some really nice trades this coming week. So there you have it. There's the SPY. What am I watching going into Monday? Remember, I'm a day trader. I don't hold anything overnight. So these are just charts that might give me a nice A-plus intraday setup on Monday, right? So LVGO had nice volume on Friday. Closed right around the recent highs. You have another kind of recent high back here from early March, right around 30. So I don't know. You kind of picture a trend line right here, and it kind of broke it on Friday to the upside. So maybe a push through 30 or something. It's pretty whippy trader. I'd be surprised if I trade it, but it's on the list. NVAX, nice little breakout through that 15 area we've been watching, and a strong close. NVAX, we're going to watch that one. Very strong stock. IFRX, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. This one had the gap up, 2 red days, and now today meaning Friday, pretty strong day. So we're going to watch that one for continuation. BSGM, very strong day. Had a big run back here, 4 or 5 days in a row, red, and then they had news on Friday and a nice run and a pretty strong close. Definitely want to keep our eyes on that one. WPX is oil play. In case oil gets going again, you kind of have a 2-day high here. Thursday hit 398, Friday hit 398. So just a roundup and say I like this through 4 on Monday if it happens. CEMI had the big gap up and a red day and another red day. But you know what? It's got a couple bottoming tails here. So buyers are stepping in the 650 area. Maybe this one, maybe this one has a run next week. There it is on 15. So I don't know. Let's look at the volume, 650,000-ish on Friday. I don't know. It feels like interest is really waning on this one. Not a huge fan, but at the same time, I couldn't find much to put on the list, so this one made the list. AIM, you know what? This is holding up pretty well the last few days. It's kind of coiling. It could just as easily roll over to the downside, and that's fine because that'll mean it didn't give me any kind of a setup. But it's holding up pretty well since this big volume push went from 224 to 345 intraday, and now it's just coiling. Like I said, if that breaks to the upside, I want to be in it, so I'm going to keep a close eye on it. IO had the big pop on Thursday. Quiet inside day on Friday. We'll watch for a 3rd day play there. OMI, I believe they make masks, which is certainly in demand right now. Had the big pop, and then after the gap up, 4 red days in a row. Back down, hit the 20-day, so back down into some support. We're going to watch that for a bounce on Monday. Where am I? OSUR. I talked about this on going into Friday that I'd really like to see it come down, at least to the buy zone between the 8 and the 20. And so we didn't get there, but it's also, you could argue, holding up pretty well. So no trades in it this week yet, but back on watch because it's pretty darn strong. I wanted to throw one retailer on watch in case the retail group kind of gets a dead cat bounce, whatever you want to call it. And so I just landed on Kohl's KSS. It's pretty beaten up. I don't know, about a week ago, it was almost 19 bucks, and now it's down at 11. And obviously a month ago it was 40, but that's every retailer out there is beaten up like this. Pretty narrow range, relatively speaking, on Friday. So anyway, that's kind of the one retailer I've chosen to watch in case that group gets a bounce. And then SGBX had that crazy move last week, and then it's been, and then they did an offering, and it's had a few days lower now into the 8-day. This one might give like a little surprise mini squeeze one of these days. Switching to 15s, I'll show you exactly what I'd like to see. notice, actually the day after the big move, after the offering, it made a run at the highs of the big day, which is crazy. But then it's been bleeding lower ever since. So after that big run, then you had, let's see, this would have been Thursday. There's the early high. These are 15-minute candles. So there's the early high on Thursday. Never came close to breaking it. You know, as you slide across the rest of the day, it was just lower all day. And then on Friday, also put in its high in the opening 30 minutes and then bled lower. What I'd like to see, you know, some sideways action like this and an afternoon breakout over its early high. That could be a powerful short squeeze setup. So let's keep our eyes. That's the optimal scenario for me, excuse me. You know what? Not a big list, and I'm not in love with it. A couple of them I am kind of fond of, but we'll see how the market unfolds on Monday. We'll add some pre-market gappers to that list as well, and I suspect we'll find some nice trades on Monday. Let's keep up the great teamwork. We've been doing great. It's been slow. Make sure you don't succumb to boredom trades. It's very easy to do when nothing's setting up. I always say, you know, if you don't have an A+ setup, just do nothing. It saves you a lot of money in the long run. All right, I'm done babbling. We'll see you on Monday.